when you're the head coach or the manager, whatever you want to label it as, you need people around you who are able and have got the stomach to, when they think you might have been making a mistake, tell you. I would love to know if anybody in Arsenal's coaching staff turned round and said to Arteta, why don't we leave Havertz where he is?
Yeah.
He's the guy that's been putting the ball in the back of the net. Why don't we leave him up there? Why are we changing? We're in a great run of form. He's in a great run of form. He's scoring goals. Oh, and by the way, when we've played him in the middle of the park, he hasn't done a good job for us. Has anybody in Arsenal's coaching staff got the stomach to turn around to Arteta and say, Gaffer, I think you're making a mistake? Because it doesn't seem like it. Because I don't understand why you take somebody who is in the best form they've been in for goodness knows how long, not just at Arsenal but in Chelsea, and you move them. That's meddling, if you ask me.
Is he thinking about Bayern? Like, what's going on? Is he? Because it's Villa. It's not Luton. It's not Sheffield United.
Right.
You know that Villa are going to come and they're going to push you. So why make the change? Why not stick to your winning formula?
I never understood the changing for change's sake.
Yep.
I think we all understand if there's players out and you have to kind of, hey, can you do me a favor for a couple games and can you move in this position? And but that really wasn't the case. It was almost like a case of, I'll show you.
Too clever.
I can overthink this. And again, to Stevie's point, yeah, hey, what are we doing here? What? No, let's. What is always the key to the best teams? The best teams, particularly at home, are going to say, when Stevie, some of your, all conquering Liverpool teams, are we going to change at home for somebody else?
I mean, we knew what the team would be.
Yeah.
You get in a position where you're winning,
Yeah.
and you know what the team is, and you know what it should be as well.
Yeah.
It's one thing to respect the manager and you love the manager and the whole thing, but we all as players know who should and who shouldn't be playing.
If I'm at Leicester and we're going to Anfield, we might have to change some things. Yeah. If we play them heads up, we're going to get stomped. But Liverpool aren't going to look at Leicester and go, oh, hey, I better move McManaman here. No, we're Liverpool at home. Now,
this is what we do.
This is what we do. And, hey, we'll make adjustments because we got a great squad. We got players. If things are going wrong, we can bring him in here and we can do that. But before the game, if I'm Arsenal and I'm in the run that I'm on and I'm playing against a good Villa side that obviously needs results for Champions League, but I'm not going to be thinking, I'm not going to overthink it. Not until I have to.
Shaka, what happened in the Liverpool game? How did that affect the crowd going into the start? You mentioned you were taking your seat, everyone's chanting for Palace. Did that set the expectation too high too early in the game? Then did that kind of resonate within the stadium?
I certainly think it raised expectation within the stadium from the fans' perspective. No question. I mean, all the noise before the game, and it was loud coming into the stadium, was because of that Liverpool Palace result. And then all of a sudden, and we've made this point on the show many times before, it's a lot easier to chase than it is to lead. And I just wondered how that would affect Arsenal, knowing that Liverpool dropped points in the way that they did coming into this one. And it was really odd to kind of not see Arsenal kick on at any point. As I say, they dominated the first half, but then once Villa kind of got a grip on the game in the second half, there would never really seem to be a response. It was a complete role reversal, and the difference between Villa and Arsenal is that Villa have goal scorers, to use Jan's term. Arsenal have goal getters, and they just didn't have the ball in those kinds of positions to really go out and create something, and then all of a sudden, Villa, because of who they have at their disposal, get the goals that their second half play fully deserve.
The easiest thing that Arteta's got is to look at this game and say, well, I made a mistake and I'll play Havertz up front next game. The tougher decision he's got, or the tougher thing he's got to think about is, what happened in the second half? That would be the biggest worry.
Okay.
Because this team...
Because that's out of his control a little bit. Is that right?
Well, he's got to figure out why. You know, you're at home, you've got a big crowd behind you, you're 1-0 down, you want to be top of the league. I mean, every single thing points towards not producing wonderful football or any of the niceties of the game, but the guts and the courage and the
get
will
you over the line
and the desire and the energy to get after it. It completely disappeared.
If you saw
that's the biggest
save
worry.
after save and post and miss chance and miss chance, but Shaka, no, you're saying Villa came in and outplayed them the second half, and that's the worry.
Go on, Jan. Don't say twists and turns.
I will say twist and shout to the Beatles, but I will say that when we see the three teams there at the, up front, I mean, we're discussing now, should he done that with Jesus, should he done that with Havertz, Liverpool, they didn't look like they have the energy. They had a game against Bayern Munich, being then Arsenal, Atalanta, on Thursday, Liverpool. And then you saw Manchester City. They went to Madrid. They had a 3-3 game there, but they have still managed in this period to rest players. They were at it today or yesterday. They were winning scoring 6 goals. Their energy there. They have been game. Foden has been on the bench. De Bruyne has been on the bench. Haaland has been on the bench, and so on. They even managed to winning without Rodri. Maybe this is the breaking point of the season now, where you see that the broader and the bigger squad could be the decider for the title in the Premier League.
Shaka, what was the resounding feeling from the fans as they left the stadium? Well, apart from "Don't ever come back here, Hislop."
Listen, it was a sense of deflation, in all honesty, because again, you come into the stadium with such expectation right before kickoff, and to leave not just losing or not felt that you kind of gave it away, but that you just outright lost the game. There was nothing to leave there feeling, hard done by. And I feel that was a tough part. That was a tough part from an Arsenal perspective, that there really was never any kind of a response. You can go behind, but you always, good teams respond. And there never was that response from Arsenal. So just kind of, as you make your way out to the stadium, it was just that sense of, here we go again.
Let's take a look at the odds then. Manchester City are now the clear favourites to once again win the title for a 4th time in a row. Of course, never achieved before. How things have changed over the last couple of weeks. After that draw between City and Arsenal, Liverpool winning against Brighton. Liverpool, of course, are favourites. And what happened last weekend, Arsenal take the charge. But now, Manchester City with 6 games to go. 5-2 on. Jan, you think this is done and dusted? No twists and turns to come?
No, I don't think it is. And I've been with Liverpool, and I've said that I got a feeling that Liverpool would make it. But yes, this week has changed a lot, of course. But I'm 100% sure that this is not over with. You can have a look at the goal difference as well. They're coming up some tricky games now. Do you remember? I changed now from twist and shout to tricky.
Yeah.
There come some tricky games coming up now. So no, this is not over with. And you can see Manchester City, they're doing well, and maybe they get into that gear that they had last season. But they are also they also concede goals. They also have some games. So this is not over. I can still see Liverpool and Arsenal being up there, and I think it's too easy to say that this is done by now. But it's just to win 6 games in a row. If there is one team who can do it, it's Manchester City.
Yeah.
But I don't think they will win 6 games in a row.
And that is the fascinating part of this whole title race, given that there are still 6 games to go, Stevie. Where do you stand from a Liverpool point of view?
Well, I'd have to say, if Arsenal had won, then I would have... Liverpool were done. I think Arsenal getting beat sort of somehow in my brain pulled Liverpool back into it.
Okay.
Because of the fact that it's still only 2 points. So...
Away from home, are you okay? We've talked about
No.
away from Anfield.
No, absolutely
You're being your
not.
concern.
No, absolutely. Listen,
Oh,
after what we've seen from Liverpool, not just today, but against United, and how they can't put the ball in the back of the net and how they give up so many chances, I would be disingenuous of me to turn around and say, well, Fulham, Everton, West Ham away, we're going to win those games. Because you just can't say that with any confidence. And so if you're going for a title and you're playing 3 teams that on paper, you are comfortably a street ahead of, and you're not quite sure you're going to win the games. There's no way I could turn around here and think that Liverpool are going to win the Premier League.
Shaka, we've heard that Arsenal and Liverpool fans are pooling their finances together to send you to every Manchester City game now at the end of the season. Who's going to push City more, Shaq, out of these 6 remaining matches, Arsenal or City?
I think it'll be
Liverpool.
Who's going to put City more? Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Arsenal are going to push City more. I understand. I think Arsenal. I've said this before. Arsenal, when they're playing at their best, are playing the best football in the league. I just feel, given what you're seeing from Liverpool of late, and Stevie's right, good teams do not put together the kind of the string of results and performances that you saw from Liverpool against Man U, against Atalanta, and now against Palace. So I really do feel that Liverpool have kind of dropped that baton. And now it's between, for me, Manchester City and Arsenal, and ultimately it comes down to goal scorers. Now, for all the praise that we've had for Arsenal, Sydney I've had for Arsenal and how good football they're playing, this may very well come down to who has the best goal scorer. And for all the criticism around Manchester City, 2 weeks ago people were saying, nobody on our panel, I admit, was saying that Erling Haaland is no better than a second division player when he's not scoring goals. But now all of a sudden, given the choice between Erling Haaland and even this version of Erling Haaland and a Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz, you choose Erling Haaland.